Hi.
Hello there. No, you're not seeing things. We are in color. We've had a few people suggest over the last 4 years that why don't we do it, at least a few in color, but because I guess we've given the impression we live in 1940 and not in 2020. So here we are, just for this special occasion, though.
Yes. Max was the one who chose black and white, and I actually like black and white because it covers a multitude of sins. So then I only have to concentrate on what I'm saying and not how I look so much.
All right.
Yeah.
There's our justification.
Yeah.
Well, we'd like to say thanks, first of all, because in the month of December we hit a few milestones. One was that we passed 4,000 subscribers, and it's already gone to 4,200, so there's a great push in December. And also we've reached 2,000 videos, which we knew we would in advance by about the end of the year.
Yeah, we've had all-time highs in December.
Yeah, records for a single day and for a single week, etc., and for a single hour. A lot of it. And we attribute a lot of the numbers to one playlist that was created fairly recently, which is called Basic Library for Jehovah's Witnesses.
Yeah, it's done very well.
That it was doing well even through August to November with videos on David Reed, Edmond Gruss, Duane Magnani, Olof Jonsson, Heather and Gary Botting, and James Penton, of course, who was the very first video in that playlist. And all of them, of course, are from an older generation of ex-JWs who have written books, and therefore they need to be better known. But
especially the Cetnars.
And the Cetnars. And when we started doing the Cetnar series, because Joan had passed just a few months ago, we thought to celebrate their great work back in the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And Joan right through into the 2000s, right up until her death, as far as I know, in her 80s. And the Cetnar videos have broken the records for our viewings anyway. And
another thing that we've tried to do in December, we've been streamlining the playlists, because many people are overwhelmed at the number of videos and just don't know where to look or what to look for, what keywords. So we've tried to streamline them.
Which means breaking some of the larger playlists down into smaller categories. And there's 65 now? 65 playlists altogether. And how do you get to the playlist? So people have asked us that.
We didn't know until today, actually. Because we could never see all our playlists.
Yeah.
But what we found is if you go on our site, David and Vivian Aspinall, and the home page, and you look, there's a button.
But it's not a site. Let's get the language right. It's the channel.
Okay. Yeah, see, I don't know these things. Anyways. What we noticed was there's a button, or actually Max pointed out to us, there's a button that says Created Playlists. And that gave us all our playlists. So we figured out we had 65.
Now I need my notes for this, because here is a short list of some of the new additions to the playlist, plus some old favorites that a lot of the newer people won't know about at all. So for instance, the new playlists include one on the Tetragrammaton and its use in the Bible, one on the Kingdom of God, one on apostasy. Was there a general apostasy around 100 AD, as the Watchtower continues to claim, and many other religions do too, because these issues are major stumbling blocks for ex-JWs as well as witnesses, of course. They can't seem to get past them. So there's other new lists. One is on the Proclaimer's book, which is still the official history of the organization. We've done about 20 videos on that, and so that's a playlist on its own now. And our personal testimonies. People have asked, well, where can I see your stories? So we put a playlist together called Our Personal Testimonies. And John Wenham's book, which is called The Goodness of God. I think you've done something like 35 videos. Yeah,
because he deals in that book, he deals with the controversy between Old Testament and New Testament. Are they opposed to each other? This seems to be a problem in the minds of a lot of people. They kind of view the Old Testament as
Different God.
as a different God, a mean, vindictive God, and the New Testament a more loving God.
A cuddly God
Yeah.
who has nothing to say negatively about, well, the cliches about the difference between God the Father and the Jehovah of the Old Testament. We have found it just not so, but that
So
doesn't stop videos. There's a lot of videos being created by ex-witnesses on this, which is not good for your spiritual health.
Yeah, it's been accepted, and he deals very fairly with it, I would say.
Yeah, John Wenham. So that's the Goodness of God playlist. And then there's a Babylon the Great. That's another big stumbling block, that you just take over from the Watchtower training you have, this idea that Babylon is all the religions out there.
Yeah.
That's just not so. So we've thought to do our own videos on that, and also gather other videos from our previous playlists that are on that subject. And then there's another new playlist called Ask JWs, and that is good questions to ask witnesses, not offensive questions, but just to get them to think.
Right. Yeah.
And a lot of those are about the Tetragrammaton and the use of the Tetragrammaton, even in the New World Translation.
So you might find some talking points if you're talking with relatives. If you're a PMO and you're still talking to witnesses, it gives you some good prods for them to start rethinking things.
Once these questions are put in their heads, they're going to have a hard time shaking them, because the Watchtower meetings will reinforce a lot of these points, because they're basic, what we call badge issues, having to do with the stumbling blocks that we've just mentioned, including the kingdom of God, door-to-door preaching. So going to the older videos that I think a lot of you will not have seen, there's a whole playlist on the book of Daniel, and that's just full of talking points for use with witnesses. So check out the Daniel playlist. Also the door-to-door playlist, if you haven't seen it, where we try to dismantle, I think with Ray Franz's help, we dismantled this emphasis that Rutherford after all started in around 1920. And the PDF is available. I'll get to the PDFs in a minute though.
And 2 playlists of Franz, Ray Franz.
Yeah.
So going through his Crisis of Conscience, just the latter part of that one.
That's right.
And the second book, In Search of Christian Freedom, we went through it, the whole thing, and did a little commentary on it as well.
So those 2 playlists together, the Ray Franz playlists, comprise about, over 300 videos altogether. Then there's the website. I know you wanted to.
Yeah. We have a website now called onewonders.org. It was built by our friend Austin.
Who's only recently left.
So, and he's adding to it regularly, maintaining it for us. And we thank Austin for that.
We thank Austin, because we wouldn't know how to do it.
And you would thank him too. It's beautiful. And it archives our PDFs that we've offered through the channel and different videos, and some extras too. He's put them in there, and he keeps adding to that. And he gives you recommendations, book recommendations that we've made in our channel in different videos, and then he shows you where you might find them.
Yeah,
so
Amazon.
That's very helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah, and also he has suggested starting places if you're fresh or new to the channel, just where to start looking.
Yeah.
What videos would be recommendable?
I think there's fewer than 10, around 6 to 10 anyway, that are recommended starting points for following through the rest of the playlist.
Yeah. And then we thought to say, some people wonder how they can help us. And so we would suggest that you share our videos if you like them. Like them. And
press the like button.
Yeah, and comment, because all those things help them get noticed by other people if you do those things. What
Also,
do they call it, the rhythm, whatever.
The algorithms, where we've heard. And press the subscribe button. This is something we kind of take for granted, that it's just to get notifications, but it is notifications, and I now know
And
that
the
you
bell.
have to press the bell to get
Yeah.
regular notifications, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the subscribe button seems to be the big one in terms of expanding your viewership.
Right.
So we want to thank you again for your great support, and especially your positive comments on the channel and by email sometimes too. Because without the suggestions and those comments, which are often extremely encouraging when you need it the most,
Yes. And they spur us on. Yeah, they spur us on.
and they help us plan our future videos. So thanks all of you for all of your encouragement and your prayers. And we wish everybody a blessed 2022.
Thank you.